Hello everyone, happy Tuesday and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Live at 5. This is Lena Gersa. I'm an independent demonstrator from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada, and I am super excited to share with you today these 3 adorable projects using the Birds of a Feather stamp set from Stampin' Up. Now, this stamp set is in the holiday catalog. It is another one that is easy to miss because, again, it's a standalone stamp set. It doesn't come with a coordinating dies. It doesn't have coordinating punches. It's not part of a suite, but it is absolutely adorable. Now, let me just show you where you can find it in the catalog. It is on page 50, so there's the stamp set. We've got 4 adorable little birds and then 5 sentiments. So this is a great value at $29 in Canada. And I'm going to show you these 3 projects today. So we have a well-timed Thanksgiving table favor. Here in Canada, we are celebrating Thanksgiving this coming weekend. And then we've got this adorable little Halloween card. And then, of course, a holiday card. So we're going to get right to it. Oh, I see Elfie and Kathy are watching. Hi, Elfie. I'm glad you're here for as long as you can be here. You just go when you need to go. So we're going to start with this one. I'm going to kind of go chronologically. So this is just a fun little table favor. Inside the pillow box, see if I can open this up. I won't open it up. I have some maple leaf or maple sugar candies. Or maple syrup candies, I guess. They're leaf shaped, so they're appropriate for fall and just really, really fun. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. It's pretty straightforward because we are using our awesome pillow boxes. So these are in the catalog. They come pre-made like this. They are packed flat, and all you have to do is fold the ends in. So you're going to fill them up. They come pre-scored. Sometimes you have to kind of pinch the score line a little bit to get them to do what you want them to do. So we're going to fold in one end, okay, and then you can add your filling, whatever you would like, and then you're going to close the other end. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to have candy, you could absolutely use this. Oh my goodness, Deb, it's snowing in Calgary again. I won't tell you, it is an absolutely gorgeous day here. It is sunny. It is 18 degrees. Absolutely beautifully perfect fall day. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyhow, as I was saying, if you do not want to do candy in these, you could leave this top end open and use them to hold your cutlery. Okay, that would be a really cute little cutlery holder for a Thanksgiving table. All right, but we are going to do this as a candy holder, treat holder. So I'm going to, again, just pinch my ends. If this wants to cooperate with me. Doesn't want to. There we go. And pinch my other end. There we go. So these boxes come together really easily. There's not any adhesive required. You just fold in your ends. Okay. Now, first thing we're going to do is add a little bit of a belly band. So this is a piece of that beautiful Come Together DSP. I have been using this paper nonstop this fall. It is cut to 3 inches by, I think this is 7. 3 by 7 or 6. I don't remember. I'll put the measurements up afterwards. Oh, Deb, I don't even want to talk about snow. I am not at all ready to talk about it. Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to add some adhesive to the back side of my DSP. I'm using Fast Fuse. You're going to want to use something relatively strong. So if you don't have Fast Fuse, tear and tape will work. Or some other strong adhesive. And I'm going to start in the middle, and you can use the polka dots on your box as a guide to help you get that piece on straight. And then we're just going to wrap it around our box. Okay, now normally I would have this filled already, so my box would have a little bit more strength. I don't have anything in here, so it's going to be a little bit flimsy to begin with. Okay, so there is my paper. I'm not going to worry about this seam. It's going to get hidden. All right, so there is my first task done. Now we are going to do some stamping, and we're going to do some coloring, and we're going to do some paper piecing. Lots going on this little project. So here I have this adorable turkey stamp. I just love him. I think he's too funny. I don't know how many of you are planning turkey for this weekend, but I am hosting, once again, Thanksgiving dinner for my family and my brother and his family and my husband's sister and her family. So we'll have the whole gang here. So I've stamped my turkey in the Memento Black. And then here I have a little scrap of the Gingham pattern from that same Come Together DSP. And I'm going to stamp him again. I really only need the apron because we're actually going to paper piece that apron. All right. And I'll show you how that works in a few minutes. So we'll set this aside. I'm going to go ahead and color my turkey. And I'm not going to worry about punching him out just yet. Now, I'm using lots of blends, so I'm going to show you the colors that I'm using. I've got the light and dark Cajun Craze. Turn these around so they're right side up. So light and dark Cajun Craze. I have a light and dark crumb cake. Okay. I have light soft suede. I have dark smoky slate. I have light basic black. I've got the light Pretty Peacock, and I have the dark Mango Melody. Mango Melody. I've got the hiccups all of a sudden. All right, so we're going to start just coloring the body of our turkey. I'm going to use my crumb cake markers for that. So we're going to do his head first. So I'm just going to lay down a layer of the light crumb cake. Okay, I'm going to just fill this in, and I'm not going to worry too much when I get down around the apron because that is going to get covered up with paper. So we're not going to see if I go outside the lines there. No one will know and you won't tell them, right? All right, so now I'm going to add just a hint of shadow kind of under his hat there and maybe just sort of along the back of his neck and then his chest here just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with my light and I'm going to blend that out. Now you'll be happy to hear, I don't know how many of you have been watching my videos recently, my pumpkin pie blends were getting really, really dry. I did get some new ones. I'm quite excited about that. Going to use those on the next project. And I got some new old olive too, so it's nice to have brand new ones. This crumb cake one is getting near it's the end of life here. So now I'm going to move on down, color the wing and the top part of the body here. Okay, so I'm just laying down that light color or light layer first. And then again, I'm going to come in with some shadow kind of around under his arm and just along the back there and maybe just at the crease of the wing. And again, we're going to blend that out with the light. Just pulling that dark in so that it blends in. Okay, and then we're going to do the hind end and of course that belly or the breast. Are you a white meat or a dark meat person when it comes to turkey? I personally prefer white. I don't mind dark. I'll eat dark if I don't have a choice, but given my choice, I like the white. My husband and I are both the same, which is not necessarily a good thing because there's nobody around to eat the dark. I always use the dark in casseroles and soups. All right, so we're going to finish blending this guy out here. Okay, so there's the rest of the body there, and then I'm just going to do this little bit of the wing here as well, just so that we are fully blended. Okay. All right, now I'm not going to worry about coloring the feet because the feet are actually going to get cut off by the punch. All right, so I'm going to not worry about those. To do the, I don't remember what this thing is called. Is it called the waddle? I don't remember. On a turkey, we're going to do our dark, is this dark? Yes, dark Cajun Craze. So we're just going to pull the dark just in there. Okay. And then I'm also going to shade in, actually I'm going to do the light first, the tail feathers. So on the tail, I'm going to color the whole thing with the light to start. I'm not going to hit that the apron strings there. I'm going to show you how I do that in a sec. So we'll just color the whole tail with the light. And again, I'm not going to worry about doing these bottom feathers because they're going to get cut off with the punch. So we won't worry about coloring them, and we won't forget about this guy over here. Okay, so we'll fill those in. And then I'm going to come in with my dark, and the center of each tail feather here, I'm going to color with the dark. just to add a little bit of detail to the tail. There we go, and just a smidge there. All right. Next, we are going to color the hat. Now, the hat, I use the light black. It always seems strange to me to say light black, but light black blends on the hat. So we're coloring the top of the hat and the brim in the light black. And then we're going to do the band in the smoky slate. So just this part of the band in the smoky slate and the center of the buckle there. And then the buckle, we're going to use our dark Mango Melody. I think it looks kind of golden. That's why I like the dark. And then we're also going to do that for his beak as well. He's going to have a golden beak, this turkey. I just like that pop of color that it adds. All right, and then I also use my smoky slate on the pie plate. We'll color our pie plate in the smoky slate. And then I use the light soft suede to color the crust of the pie. This looks like a yummy apple pie. So we'll do that one. There we go. Okay. And the last little touch is just to color the apron strings. I'm going to use my light Pretty Peacock and just color the bow and just the string of the apron there. I got a little bit of crumb cake on there, but that's okay. All right, so I'm not going to worry about the apron because we are going to punch this guy out. So we're going to use the 2-inch circle punch. And when I punch him, I want him kind of off to one side. I don't want him perfectly centered in the punch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that out. And then we are going to do our apron. So for the apron, you'll recall that I stamped it on the gingham paper. So now I'm just going to take my paper snips and I am going to fussy cut out just the apron. Now, here's a tip. When you're paper piecing, you kind of want to cut on the inside of the line. So you know how when you stamp, the lines are generally relatively thick, okay? So you can either cut on the outside of the line, which means the edge that's on the outer part of the image, or you can cut on the inner part of the line. When I'm paper piecing, I like to cut on the inside part of the line, so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm not seeing a whole lot of black around the edge of my cut. And I find that when I do that, I get a better fit with my paper pieced pieces. And I'm also going to get that outline from my stamped image. So if I take my apron now and lay that over my colored image, you see how that just fits right in there. Now that little bit that's hanging over, actually it's kind of cute having that hanging over. I might just leave that. I like that. I was going to trim it off, but I think that's kind of fun. All right, so I'm going to put just a smidge of Tombow on the back of my apron. And I'm going to glue that right onto that colored image. There we go. And there we have our turkey with his little apron. Isn't he cute? Oh, love him. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And we'll finish putting him together. So here I have a Pretty Peacock Starburst. So it's punched with the Starburst punch. And I'm going to go ahead and layer that. And look how cute that apron looks hanging over there. Oh, I like it. Don't you love it when you do a project a second time and you improve it? I love it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pop that onto our Starburst, just centering it with a bit of Tombow. And then I have die cut several leaves. These are cut using the Gathered Leaves dies. You've seen me use those quite a bit this season. I'm kind of addicted to them, but I'm also kind of addicted to fall and leaves and all of that fun stuff. So it's kind of understandable. So I'm going to take a couple of glue dots and adhere my leaves. So I've got one of the large three pointed leaves, and then I have a small 3-pointed Pretty Peacock leaf, so I'm going to kind of tuck that in behind. And then I have a Cajun Craze maple leaf because, well, we can't have Thanksgiving in Canada without maple leaves. So I'll tuck that in behind there. Okay, and then down below at the bottom, we are going to add a couple of more. So a couple of glue dots here, and I'll pop that one on. And then we'll do A couple more. Now you'll notice I'm putting the glue dots on the front of my die cuts so that I can stick them to the back of my circle. Do you see that? Okay. So there is my turkey. Is he not fun? Oh, love him, love him, love him. All right, now before we put him onto our box, we have to add our burlap. So the burlap is about 14 inches-ish, okay? So all I did, because I want people to still be able to open this box, right, to get at whatever's inside of it, I'm just going to lay this over top. So you see how I'm covering up that seam there that didn't quite meet. I'm pretty sure I cut this to 6 inches, and I did that so that you could get a bunch out of a sheet of DSP, if I remember correctly. So now I'm just going to wrap it around and I'm going to tie a double knot. Now, when you're tying a square knot, the key is, okay, to keep your ribbon flat. So you see how I have this flat piece on top? That's going to become the top of my knot and it's going to be nice and square. Do you see that? Okay, so there is my burlap. I could trim that off a little bit, but it's okay. We'll leave it just like that. All right, I didn't put any adhesive on here. This is going to get held in place when I put my turkey on. All right, speaking of turkey, we're going to add some dimensionals. Hi, Jill. Hi, Martine. How are you doing? Hope you guys are having a good week. Is the weather as nice where you are as it is here? I know Deb said it's snowing in Calgary, which just, makes me cringe. I'm hoping it's nicer where you are. It is beautiful here in Ontario. All right, so I have put some dimensionals on the back of this. The reason that I'm using dimensionals is that it makes it a little bit easier for this guy to kind of bend around the shape of the box. Okay, if you put liquid glue on or use tape, you're going to find that it kind of peels up a little bit. But by using the dimensionals, it kind of gives it just a little bit of flex and makes it a bit easier. Okay, so I've got several dimensionals on there. Now I went and broke my thumbnail on the weekend, so peeling dimensional backings off right now is a bit of a challenge because I don't have any nails. I don't know how people do this without nails. It kills me. So I'm moving a little slow with my dimensional backings today. There we go. All right, so we're going to pop this guy on. I'm going to put him over to one side just a little bit because I want to have room to tuck my sentiment in. Okay, so again, this box is a little bit flimsy because I haven't got anything in it right now, but there we go. Okay, and then we have a piece of, this is the wood grain DSP that's in the Come Together suite. Okay, and I have my little give thanks, and I need my early espresso. There it is. Forgot to put it in the kit. All right, so I have my early espresso ink and my little give thanks. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on the end of my DSP. And then I'm going to punch one end with my trusty tailored tag punch, just centering that in there. All right, and then just trim, I don't know, what is that, like half a centimeter or a centimeter, I guess, half an inch off. And I'm going to go ahead and tuck that in behind my burlap. Okay, so we're going to add a couple of glue dots there. So 1, 2, and we'll just kind of tuck this in behind our burlap. Come on, work with me. There we go. I'll tuck it right in there. There we are. And there's our finished box. Isn't that cute? Super easy. Something you could totally get done in time for the weekend if you are hosting a Thanksgiving dinner. This would be a really cute little hostess gift too. If you were going to Thanksgiving dinner somewhere this weekend, or if you are an American, one of my American viewers, you could absolutely have lots of time to get these done ahead of your Thanksgiving. And that would be a really cute little hostess gift. Fill it up with some candies, or better yet, like a spa gift card or something for the host to relax after preparing Thanksgiving dinner for everyone. Okay, so that is project 1. I'm gonna get some things out of the way here, and we're gonna move on to Halloween. Now, I am not big into Halloween. Our family is kind of, we're not anti-Halloween, but we're not big into it. My son goes out trick-or-treating because he's a kid, and why not? Candy is a good thing when you are a kid. But we don't do a lot of decorating. It's not really kind of our big holiday. But I know lots of you are, and it is fun to kind of do cute Halloween projects. So I'm going to show you this fun little card here, my little pirate ducky. All right, I'm going to show you how to put this together. Again, some coloring. So one of the best things about this stamp set, in my opinion, is the fact that we get to color with it, right? I love my Stampin' Blends, and being able to color makes me happy. It may not be especially exciting for you guys to watch, but I hope you're okay with watching me color for a few minutes. All right, so here I have my little pirate stamp, and I have a stitched white circle. This is cut with the stitched shape dies. It's the largest circle. I'm going to ink him up using my Memento Black, and I'm just going to stamp him kind of over to the side just a little bit, like that. Okay, thanks, Martine. I'm glad you like that. All right, now we're also going to stamp our sentiment, but this time, instead of inking it all in one color, I'm going to use my Stampin' Write markers, and we're going to get a two-tone sentiment. So I've got my basic black, first of all. I'm going to ink the Trick Or in basic black, so I'm using the brush tip. Now, this is the reason that you want Stampin' Write markers, right? I mean, they are the best thing for inking stamps. You can't use blends for inking stamps. So Stampin' Write markers are the bomb for this. Okay, so I'm using my pumpkin pie to ink the treat. So I've got Trick Or in black and treat in pumpkin pie. And then I'm going to just blow on it a little bit to re-moisten the ink and then go ahead and stamp. Isn't that cute? Love it. Super quick and easy way to get multicolored stamped images. All right, now we're going to color our duck. So we'll start with his body. Or her body, I guess it could be either. We're going to color, first of all, put down a layer of Daffodil Delight. So I'm using the light Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to work in sections. I'm going to kind of do the top half and then the bottom half here. Again, the reason that we work in sections when we're coloring with blends is so that the ink that we lay down doesn't completely dry. And then when we go to blend it, it's still a little bit damp and it's easier to move. Okay, so if I were to color the entire body, doing my first layer, and then went and added my dark, and then came back and tried to blend it again, it would be a little bit tricky to get that ink to blend as well as I want it to. So all I'm doing now is adding a little bit of dark, kind of around the edges and kind of along the vest here where there's a bit of a shadow. I can add just a titch there under the hat as well. And then I'm going to come in with my light again, and I'm going to blend that all out. So again, I'm pulling that color, the dark, sort of inwards and blending it out with the light. All right, there we go. There's the top half of our ducky. And then we're going to do his little wing here. And his other little wing. Okay, and we'll add just a little hint. Oh, I just realized I put my light lid on my dark marker. Do you know how many times I've done that? It's not good. I really shouldn't open more than one marker at a time. Okay, so I'm adding just a bit of shadow kind of around the armhole of the vest there, where his little wing is peeking out, and we'll just color that in, blend it out. Okay, and then we're going to color in the rest of his body here. Again, laying down our layer of light. And then we'll pull in some dark. Now here he's going to have some shadow kind of along his underside. So we'll just add a bit of dark right along the underside there, and maybe just a little bit sort of around his vest. And then again, I'm going to come back in with my light and blend that out. Now those of you who are watching who are really bothered by the fact that I'm leaving my marker laying uncapped, I am aware that it is not a good thing to leave your alcohol markers laying uncapped. Okay, I'm just doing that for this video. I would never do that in a situation where I was sitting here coloring in my studio. Okay, you want to keep your markers capped whenever possible. It will extend their life. Okay, all right, so now I have my dark pumpkin pie, and I'm going to color in his little beak here with the pumpkin pie. And we'll color his little pumpkin. How many of you had one of these little trick-or-treat pumpkins when you were a kid? I sure did. That was like my favorite thing to use when I was trick-or-treating. And then we're going to add just a little hint of the pumpkin on his little webbed feet here. And I just noticed I missed a little teeny bit of his leg there. So we're going to just bring in the dark and just shade that. There we go. And then we're going to do his kerchief in the dark real red. Now I'm going to do my best to leave the polka dots white. It's a little bit tricky to see what I'm doing because I'm off to the side here a little bit. So I may end up accidentally filling one in, but we're going to try. I'm just going to carefully go around those polka dots so that the polka dots on his little kerchief stay white, and we color the background in red. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Okay. And then we're going to color his hat. His hat is going to be in the dark black. Okay. So again, I'm going to leave the skull white and just color the background of the hat in the black. So this is dark black, so we want it to blend right in with the outline. So we want it to look pretty solid. I'm not worrying about shading on this. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to turn this around so I can see what I'm doing. And just color in the rest of the hat with the dark black. The nice thing about the dark black is if you go outside the lines, it looks like it's part of the stamped image. So you can get away with it a little bit. All right, so there we go. There is my almost finished little duck. We're going to color his vest in the light and dark. Where did I put my dark? No, I didn't get my dark. That's okay. We'll just do it in light. I think on my original I did shade the vest a little bit, but I'm just in the interest of time not going to worry about going and trying to find my dark smoky slate. It may well be in another bin or something. I'm not going to worry about it. So here is his little vest. Okay, we could certainly add some shadow if we wanted to, but we'll skip that for now. Okay, there's my colored little duck. Isn't he cute? Oh, so cute. All right, now we are all about the assembly. Now I'm going to show you a really cool little trick. So here I have a piece of basic black cardstock. Okay, it is cut to 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and then I've embossed it using the Pinewood Planks embossing folder. Now that's a 3D folder, okay, so it gives you a really great textured image. You can use it with the bumps facing up, which is embossed, or you can use it with the pattern pressed into the paper, which is debossed. When using this, I personally prefer the debossed side because I like the look of the hardwood. And I don't know if you can see on my oh yeah, it does show up. Do you see those little silver speckles? I kind of like the look of that. I'm going to show you how I did that. So I have here my silver Delicata metallic ink. Now these are on back order right now. They've been super popular, but they're coming in at the end of the month. And I'm going to just make sure this is clean because I did the same technique with gold, and I have some gold ink on my aqua painter. So here I have an aqua painter, my silver ink pad, and now I'm just going to take and kind of pick up some ink from my silver ink pad, and I'm going to go ahead and just spatter it all over my piece. And I'm going to try and get enough on here that you're going to be able to see it. We shall see. It shows up better once it dries, but that's not too bad. So let me hold it up. Can you see? Yeah, look at how that shows up. Isn't that great? Really quick and easy way to add some shimmer and sparkle and just another extra little bit of texture to a card. Okay? All right, so to finish putting this together, I have a piece of basic gray Gingham DSP. So this is from the Color Family Pack. It's cut to 5 1/4 by 2 inches. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that right onto that basic black panel, about 1/2 inch up from the bottom edge. So I'll just throw a bit of adhesive on there. And again, I'm going to use my grid lines to help me get this on straight. So about 1/2 inch would be 2 squares on your grid paper. So I'll get that on just about like that. Okay. All right. Now I'm ready to go ahead and glue this onto my card base. So here, get my little bits out. I have a basic black card base. It is cut to 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. I'm going to fold it in half along my score line. And we're going to pop it right onto the front of our card. So a little bit of adhesive. You could use Tombow. Snail will work. I am hoarding my fast fuse for all I'm worth to make it stretch as long as possible. And then I'm going to pop that right onto the front of my card. Okay. All right. Next, I have some gorgeous grape DSP. So you'll notice on my original, I did pumpkin pie. I ran out of pumpkin pie. I'm going to be honest, I ran out of pumpkin pie. So I thought the purple would actually be kind of fun. I love gorgeous grape and pumpkin pie together for Halloween. So I thought, well, we're going to change it up. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I should give you my measurements. This is cut to 4 by 3 inches. Okay. This pumpkin pie layer is 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. So that when you layer them, you get a nice 1/16 of an inch border. Okay. So anytime I'm layering and I have narrow borders, I like to use a little bit of Tombow to give me some wiggle time. So we're going to pop that on just like that. And just burnish it a little bit from the back to make sure we've got good adhesion. And then that is going to get glued on almost in the center. It's a little bit lower than center. Okay, so we're going to just glue that right onto the front of our card. Oh, my fast fuse is acting up. I know why. It's because I'm going too fast. I find sometimes with fast fuse, if you run your, if you're trying to work too fast, it sometimes pulls your paper up. All right, so I'm going to glue this on. There we go. All right. Next, I have this fun layer, and this is my favorite thing about this card. So this is some black foil. Okay, so we have the black foil sheets in the annual catalog. And then I went ahead and ran it through the Big Shot with the hammered metal embossing folder. And isn't that texture super fun? I thought it reminded me of like the belt, a black belt that a pirate might wear. Okay, the leather on the belt. So all I'm going to do, this is cut to 5 1/4 by 1 inch. Okay, and I'm going to, again, use my tailored tag punch to just nip the ends there and turn it into like a little banner. All right, so we'll just do that on both ends. And then that is going to get glued, centered on my gingham piece and centered on my card. Okay, side to side and on the gingham. So we're going to go ahead and lay some fast fuse on there and just pop that onto the front of the card. Right about there, looks good. And again, use the squares on your gingham to help you get that centered. Okay, and then we're going to add our little pirate. Okay, now we're going to pop him up because he is the focal point of our card. So we'll just add one in the center there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to give him a floor to stand on, this little pirate. He's floating in midair right now. I just noticed that. All right, we're going to add that in a sec. All right, so I'm going to put my little pirate on, and then I'm going to add that extra little touch. So do you see how my pirate's kind of floating? This is a pet peeve of mine. I don't like floating images. I like them to be anchored. So I'm going to take just my light smoky slate, and I am going to give him a floor to stand on. So I'm basically going to come across here and just add a little bit of a shadow here. So it looks like he's actually grounded and standing somewhere. Okay, that's all it is. You don't need a whole lot. It's just to help anchor that image. Okay, if you don't like the way your images look, try that tip. It makes a big difference. Okay, the last little touch on this card, and I had my twine, and I think I've dropped it. I don't know where it went. It was here a minute ago. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I had a little bit of twine that I actually threaded through the little eyelet on the anchor trinket, but I can't find it. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on. So this is from the Come Sail Away suite. Okay. And I'm going to just add a couple of glue dots. These are pretty heavy embellishment. So I like to use two, sort of one top and bottom. And I'm just going to add that on there because you know what? Every pirate needs an anchor, right? Oh, those delicate inks, Roger, or Deb, you are going to want those inks. I'm telling you, when they come up back order, get them on your order right away. They are awesome. I can't even tell you how awesome they are. Okay, so let me show you what I did on the inside of this one. So I added a Whisper white layer. Obviously, when we're stamping or when we're making a card base with basic black, we need to put a light layer inside, right? So that we can write. Now, if you have a silver paint pen or a gel pen, you can get away without the white layer, but I like to add a white layer. I stamped a fun little sentiment from the, what's it called? Well Said stamp set in the annual catalog. And then this cute little pumpkin is actually from the Tags dies. And I added just a touch of Wink of Stella on him. But isn't he fun? But doesn't it look great with the purple? I think I like it better with the purple, actually, with the gorgeous grape. It's amazing how changing one element totally changes the look of the card, isn't it? All right, let's get that out of the way. We have one more project to do. We're going to move on through our calendar to Christmas. Just going to get some things out of the way here. I think I'm going to need a couple of things out of this kit. I'm going to need that. And I'm going to need that. What else am I going to need? Better not put this too far away because there's probably other things from there that I'm going to want. All right. So we're going to do this adorable chubby little birdie Christmas card. I love this bird. He's one of my faves from this set. And I am going to show you how I did this background. It's so easy, you're gonna not believe it because it's actually just a die. And this die is actually one that I'm gonna feature later on this fall, along with, sorry, I've got email notifications coming through here on my phone as I'm shooting this video. What was I talking about? I was talking about this. This is what I was talking about, this frame. I'm going to be featuring this particular die set later on this fall. So you're going to want to make sure you catch that because it is from an awesome suite. But right now we are focusing on this card. So I have cut this little label. Now this is actually from the same set as I cut this background. Okay, it's called the Frosted Frames dies. And we are going to stamp our little bird down in the bottom corner. So again, I'm going to bring in my Memento Black. And we're going to stamp them right down the bottom. Now, I really want to try to get my little bird standing right near the bottom edge of this label. Again, because I don't want him to be floating, right? So he's standing kind of right on that stitch line there. And then we are going to add our sentiment. So this sentiment is from the same stamp set, from Birds of a Feather. And we're going to stamp that in Shaded Spruce. Oh, you like that tip? Was that the adding a floor for your image to stand on, Martine? Is that the one you're talking about? It is one that makes a big difference for when you're stamping, especially images like this, where you kind of want them to look like they're standing somewhere. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment just at the center, at the top, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and color our bird. Now he's really, really easy to color. So I am using my Light and Dark Daffodil Delight again. And this time, because he's a pretty small little birdie, I mean, he's chubby, but he's not terribly big, we're going to go ahead and actually color the whole bird in the light. I'm going to go all the way around. This is a really quick one. And it's amazing how quick this image is to color. So if you like this card and you are a bird fan, this is one that would be easy to mass produce. Okay. All right. So there is my layer of light. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of dark to his little hair there, his feathers. And then again, he's got some shadow along the bottom, along his belly, and just kind of along his wings there. And then we're going to come back in with the light and we'll pull that out just like that. Okay. And pull this down. There we go. And then we'll turn them over. I always find it easier to pull color down than to pull it up. I don't know what it is. It's just me. I like to do things upside down. Have you noticed? Which isn't very conducive when you're doing a video, but I hope you'll bear with me. All right. So I'm pulling that dark, blending them out. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and do his little tail feathers and his other little wing here. And again, I'm going to add a bit of dark to his tail feathers, just sort of at the base of the tail and right along the edge of his wing. And then again, I'm going to blend that and pull that out. Okay, so there is my little birdie body. I'm going to color his hat using the Light and Dark Poppy Parade. I decided to switch up our traditional real red for Poppy Parade, which is a little bit more orange. Just a little bit unexpected, bit of a different Christmas color. Still true to the red and green, but just a little bit of a variation there. So I'm coloring the hats, first of all, with the light. Then I'm going to add a bit of shadow with the dark right along the crease. And then again, I'm going to pull in my light and blend that out. Okay, so there's his hats. I went outside the line just a little bit there. You'll notice I haven't done anything with the star. That's on purpose. I do need to grab my Mango Melody from the other kit. So there we go. And we're going to do his little beak in the Mango Melody, which is just a little bit darker. Okay, there he is. Isn't he cute? Oh, he's so cute. I love him. All right, now it's just a matter of assembly here. So we are going to layer this label onto this Poppy Parade layer, okay? This is not cut with the dies. This is just cut from cardstock. Like I use my trimmer to cut it. I cannot remember the dimensions, but I will put them up in the description afterwards, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and glue him on. Just with a bit of Tombow, making sure we get him nice and centered, just like that, okay? And then we're going to pull out this awesome frame. Now, doesn't have to be a frame. It only looks like a frame because we're going to layer stuff on top of it. You could absolutely stamp an image on here and die cut it out. You don't need to use it as a frame. But isn't this cool? I absolutely love the detail on these dies. They're just fantastic. And you can use these for Christmas or for fall. The snowflakes, if you add some more foliage and greenery and whatnot, they don't look like snowflakes, especially if you cut it in fall colors. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue that right onto the frosted frame. We'll pop that on there. I got to clean my cutting plates. They're leaving smudges on my die cuts. That's not good. My cutting plates are grungy. All right, so there we go. We are going to now, I don't know how much this shows up. Can you see the shimmer on? It probably doesn't. Let me see. Maybe not. You'll have to take my word for it. This is all sparkly and shimmery. So of course we're going to do that using Wink of Stella. So what I did is I actually winked all of the white that was showing out from behind the Poppy Parade. So I'm just going to take my wink and brush it all the way and right along the edge as well of my die cut frame here. Okay, and again, this won't show up terribly well on the camera, but you gotta trust me. It just adds a little extra something something to this card. If you don't have a Wink of Stella yet, I gotta tell you, it's gonna change your life. You need to order one. There's no two ways about it. It is the best thing ever. I gotta say, it doesn't matter what class I teach. I pull this thing out. People have never seen it before. It changes their lives and they order it. It truly does. All right, so there is my little sparkly frame, which probably doesn't show up on the camera. Now we're going to finish assembling our card. Here I have a piece of DSP. This is from the Wrapped in Plaid DSP pack. It's not all plaid, right? On the back side, we have some other awesome images. This is just a shaded spruce polka dot. It is cut to 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And then here I have some more of that awesome gingham, but on the other side it's Argyle, right? So this is from those Color Family DSP stacks. And I have cut this to 4 by 1 1/2 inches. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and glue that on about 1 inch up from the bottom edge. So we'll pop this on, and again, we're gonna use our grid paper to get that nice and straight. This piece of DSP also has the polka dots, which can also help. All right, and then we are going to add some ribbon. So this is this beautiful, you agree? I'm glad you agree. Yes, Wink of Stella is the best thing ever. I'm glad you guys can agree with me on that one. So this is the shaded spruce and gold ribbon. It is 3/8 inches wide. It's from the Wrapped in Plaid suite in the holiday catalog, but it goes with everything. I have used so much of this ribbon. This year I think I'm on my 5th or 6th roll. It's just beautiful ribbon. So I'm just adding a glue dot on one end, trimming it off my roll, and then I'm going to add another glue dot on the other end. So this is just a way to add ribbon to your card without wasting it on the back side of your cardstock where nobody sees it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto my card base before I adhere it to, or finish building my card. So this again is a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 inch piece of Poppy Parade cardstock, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. I'll fold that in half along my score line. This is going to get glued on, so I have a 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, so we'll just add a bit of adhesive there and pop that onto the front of our card. And a lot of people always say they have a hard time getting their layers on straight. So my advice to you around that is, if you focus on these 3 borders, so top and 2 sides, this bottom piece will take care of itself. It'll be even, right? It just has to be. If these are even, then this one will be even. Okay. All right. So we are going to go ahead and add our focal image. So we're going to use dimensionals for that one. So we'll just pop a few of these on here. Probably 5. 5 is good. Mainly because I don't want to make you watch me painfully pick off the backings on these because I don't have any nails right now. Who knew that not having nails would be such a handicap to crafting? But you see how short my poor thumbnail is? I broke it on the weekend. I was moving tables and my thumbnail did not fare well. All right, so I'm going to pop this on to the front of my card. Straight, obviously, again, is better than not. Okay, and then our last touch is, of course, a bow. Not quite last touch, second last touch. So here I have my ribbon. I am going to tie a bow. So we're going to hold our ribbon between our index and middle fingers. Okay, I'm keeping it flat. I'm not letting it twist. So it's flat between my fingers. Then I'm going to take and pinch between my thumb and index finger on both hands to create loops. Okay, so you see how flat they are? There's no twisting involved. I'm going to take my left loop, cross it over the right, and then bring it around and through that little hole there and pull it tight. And there is my pretty bow. Now, again, we have to play with it to make it pretty. It doesn't come out pretty instantly. Okay, bows require a little bit of teasing and playing with until we get them quite the size we want. All right, and then we're gonna just trim our tails, and then that is going to pop on the front of our card with a glue dot. So I'm gonna press the knot of my bow and add that right about there. Okay, and then we need to do something about that little star. So here I have these adorable little gold faceted stars. So these are actually from the Most Wonderful Time product medley. Okay, now that's another product that I'm going to be featuring later on this fall. But included in that medley are these awesome gold stars. They are faceted. Okay, so they're really quite nice, and they have quite a bit of dimension. I don't know how well that, can you see? Does that show up? It's a little blurry. But they have some nice dimension, and conveniently they are sized perfectly to fit over this little star ornament that this little bird is holding. So we're just going to center that right over that stamped image there and press it into place. Isn't that cute? So cute and easy. Now I'll show you quickly what I did on the inside of my sample. Again, I added a Whisper White layer. I used that border stamp. So included in this stamp set is this fun little star border. So I used that along the bottom edge and colored it with my blends, and then I stamped another sentiment from the Birds of a Feather stamp set. Okay, so that is that. How quick and easy were those projects today? A little bit of coloring, but super easy. This stamp set is just too cute. I'm actually going to put the purple one in because I really like this one. And I'll grab our Thanksgiving project. There we go. There are our 3 projects for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really had fun playing with this stamp set. If you have people in your life who are bird fans or you just like coloring, this is a great set. And for $30, you can make it stretch all year long. I didn't even talk about Valentine's Day because this is a cute little image for Valentine's Day as well, but we'll mention that later. All right, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in today. Just a heads up that next week my live at 5 is actually going to be live at 4:30. I actually have a meeting next week at 6 p.m. That's about a half-hour drive from my home, so I have to head out right as soon as I'm finished the video to get to my meeting in time. So I'm going to be live at 4:30 next week, and I'll be back to my regular 5 o'clock time slot the week after. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a wonderful time with family this weekend if you are in Canada. If you are not in Canada, I still hope you have a great week and a great weekend, and I will see you again next week at 4:30. Bye for now.